And then if you guys could, you don't need to share your screen yet. I'll tell you when. Okay, here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Houdini Battle. My name is Deborah Isaac, your host. I'm a Houdini educator at Drexel University and also the founder of Houdini.School. I'd like to introduce your commentators. Remi?
Hello.
Also, if everybody could mute yourself, that'd be wonderful. Go ahead, Remi.
Yeah, so I'm an FX developer at Method Studio in Vancouver. I've been using Houdini for about 10 years now, but I don't do shots anymore. So it's mostly pipeline.
Awesome. Paul?
Hi, I'm Paul Rocheson. I'm a technical artist and the labs lead at SideFX. I focus on the real-time side of things for Houdini. So if you have anything, related to real-time, you'd like to talk, just shoot us a message and we're happy to talk. Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, and now our players. Jeff, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm senior technology consultant at SideFX. Yeah, I've been using Houdini since version 0. Sage user. Yeah, and what I do now is I just support people. So basically, production. I had a production experience here, and that didn't go well. So I decided to work for SideFX. It didn't go well because I always would curse at the producers, so it didn't work out too well. There you go. I'm ready for this.
Great. We're hoping for some cursing today as well. Ty.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tyjonkovsky. Presently a senior effects artist at Rise in Berlin. Actually formerly of SideFX as an intern, where Jeff actually himself helped me get my start in this wonderful industry. And yeah, I'm just your local neighborhood Houdini boy out here making procedural things. So yeah, I'm happy to be a part of this, and thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Vlad?
Hi, I'm Vlad from Moscow. Mostly I do motion design in Houdini. I've been using Houdini since 2017, I think, yeah. And now I'm slightly shifting from motion design to just digital art, NFT art, crypto art, and etc. So yeah, thank you for inviting me. Glad to be here.
Great. Daniel.
Hi, I'm Daniel Su. I am currently at the FX artist at the Mill, LA. Previously, I was a SCAD grad, and I'm originally from Singapore. Represent. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's gonna be fun.
Great. So now we're gonna go over what the themes and objects are. I'm gonna need some random seeds from the audience. Okay, so we have, the themes are surreal, sci-fi, shattered, fluid, and 80s. The objects, portal, clock, butterfly, cake, and maze. Okay, so the first one is, okay. And the second one, so David and Chris are the ones to blame. Here we go. Sci-fi maze.
Sci-fi maze. So there you go.
Okay. Get your timers. Get your timers on your mark. Get set.
Share screens.
And share screen.
Share your screens now. Okay, share your screens right now, everybody.
There, shared.
Shared. Make sure everyone has it shared. Okay, here we go. Everyone start. And we're off.
All right, I'm gonna go listen to some music. Talk to you later.
Cool. Talk to you later. And then Remi and Paul, go for it. And I'm just going to follow you guys on my screen.
I'm just checking everyone's screen. Jeff's screen is not yet sharing. Oh, now it is.
Yeah.
Just I think his connection is not that good or something like that.
I got it. I got it.
There we
Looks
go.
like we got widescreen today.
One thing is using DuckDuckGo, which is important. It's not using Google. But on the, somehow an Alexa and Google Home.
See, this is the toughest part because there's already quite a bit of reference in here, right? Oh gosh, atmospherics.
Right, so
like
it looks like we see some Tron stuff on
I like
the screen.
I like what Tyze is looking for. That could be a cool look, and that's something that should be too long to do as well.
Absolutely. Looks.
Yeah.
I can already sort of estimate what kind of color palettes we're going to see today, I think. Yeah, there's some colors that make everything sci-fi right out of the box as soon as you color it.
Oh my. And Daniel went directly straight in, and I guess he has already his idea. And seeing the first node he put down, that probably makes sense.
Trying to figure out that node now. Never used before.
Well, you have Paul to help you.
I am right here. Yeah, that's right.
So there's a sci-fi panel node that Daniel is trying to figure out during the battle.
All right, let's see what Jeff is up to. Jeff has a special setup for his screen, as you can see. Don't see that that review a whole lot. Curious what he's going to do today.
Better on discovery of operators. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I don't see many people doing that, but it makes sense if you're just looking for a special node. If you don't really know the name of the node, but you know kind of the category of it, that probably makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely, it's a lot easier than the tab menu, because when you open the tab menu, it's very volatile. You press somewhere and it's gone. Whereas this tree view, it's going to stay there, and you have the filter at the bottom, so you can see things at the same time. It's nice to have.
Yeah, I think it's good for learning.
Absolutely.
I'm wondering, would rank tiles make sense to make a maze?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have some ideas, but I won't give those away today.
It would also, yeah, if you're trying something new, I think for a maze, for example, you could go full Python and do a recursion to create your maze, but it would take probably too long to do that.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, recursion is is easy to, you would have your Houdini crash a lot of times, probably.
Yeah, I bet L system has a maze already.
That is another good point. Yeah. Another really nice trick, would be if you were to get some images from online and just use the trace SOP, right? But that would also be cheating in a way.
I think it's fair game. It's in Houdini.
If you're using it to create, like if you take just the geometry and make some geometry out of it, why not?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
The goal is to have a result, not to make it like, oh, I made it from scratch, from very scratch. It's the beginning, so people are still, picking up their ideas. So it takes a while for people to start.
Yeah, I'm looking at Daniel's screen at the moment, and he's already got some interesting setup going on. He's got this sort of tunnel that already looks sci-fi.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward setup he's got there. He's got a box that he's blasting. I think he's making this sort of tunnel using a box and blasting the two ends, scattering points on it, and then he's got a wrangle, which looks like he's using to control P-scale.
I'm guessing it didn't write it. It just has like a
Yeah,
preset.
That's a good tip for people in the audience. If you do something on a node and you really like that setup and you know that you're going to use it more often, in the top right you have a little gear icon. If you press it, you can save your current parameter values as a preset, so that the next time when you drop down your node, you just go to the gear icon, click on the preset, and you now have the exact same parameter values.
Okay, 39 minutes.
Should we have? In fact, we should have a look at probably Vlad.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what the gear's for. Okay, cool. No, I didn't know that shit.
But that looks really cool. What Vlad is doing is using fine shortest path to somehow create a maze-looking geometry. That looks cool.
That's smart. Yeah.
I'm just wondering how he made that in a way. I'm like, there are multiple points of starters. That's interesting. Ah, okay, he selected a bunch of points. That's really cool.
Ah, yeah, I see. So I think he's using group range to group some random points. And then with find shortest path, you can have it create polylines from start points to end points.
Yeah.
It's a really smart idea.
Very cool.
I'm just going to use divide. I swear we were able to select a row of points in the viewports.
If you want to select a row of points, you can hold A and click with the middle mouse button.
Let's try that. Yeah, thank you, Paul. Got that one. I wanted to do that. So.
Should we have
Not
a
procedural,
look
but
at Tighe?
Yeah.
So it looks like he's making some kind of infinite path going towards the camera.
Like a nice Mario road.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I like that perspective.
Just put some 80s colors and done.
I don't know if we have a preset for that on the color sub, but that would be nice.
Synthwave.
Well, speaking of color, by the way, one useful little trick that we added to labs recently is the ability for color ramps to do a screen sample. So if you have a color ramp, you can right-click on the color ramp, press screen color sample or something like that, and then you can just drag anywhere in your screen. It's going to sample those colors onto the ramp.
So creative, Paul.
Yeah, it's something that people use a lot in Substance, and we figured it'd be nice to have for stuff like terrain or coloring things or anything else like that.
I love that. You could put an image in the screen view, in the viewport, and do it that way, right?
It just works on any screen. So if you have a second monitor with reference, you can just sample on there. You don't have to take a screenshot of it.
That's amazing.
It's nice for terrain, for example, to get like nice green and browns that are difficult to get if you just make a ramp.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes it look a lot more organic, right, than very artificially selected. Cool. So let's see what is he up to now.
Woo.
Tighe, what's he doing, you think?
I don't know yet. Yeah, I'm seeing so probably it's something that's going to come towards us, and that's what I'm guessing right now, that probably it's rotating.
Uh-huh.
He was looking at Tron earlier, wasn't he? Was looking at
yeah.
That could be really cool with some lines all over the place. If he's adding motorcycles, there I would be impressed.
Yeah. Mario Kart and Tron mode. That'd be awesome.
Did you ever play the Tron game? I forgot what it was called at the time.
No.
Ooh, and also some reference from Vlad Dryamov, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Really interesting, in fact. Should we have a look at probably back at Daniel or Jeff?
Yeah, let's take a look at what Daniel's up to since the last time we checked.
Oh, that looks cool.
I know.
He's learning how to use, I guess, the panels node. He's added some detail on each of the pieces on the side. That looks really cool.
Yeah. Like those are some sort of cables or something, I think, or perhaps vines.
I see. He's also using Fine Shortest Path to create some kind of vines-looking things.
Yeah, Fine Shortest Path is a really awesome node because it has so many different uses, right? You can use it for road generation, for example. You can just use it as a generator to just create or generate cool-looking stuff. You can use it to calculate the shortest path, you know, the way what the node is called. So, you know, the name doesn't really do it justice for all the different use cases that people can use it for.
I made a whole VHUG, so a presentation on that, but that was 6-7 years ago at Sony. It's an awesome node. It's one of my favorite nodes, in fact, in Houdini. All right, should we have a look at Jeff?
Yeah, let's do that.
Jeff just has a disk now.
No, I'm just building it up right now. So I'm trying to think about, you know, if I went procedural, it might take me half an hour just to figure a really cool algorithm. So I just decided to do that away. But now, group on, so I can divide it by mask attribute. How does polyextrude use the mask? That's always a problem. I need to probably create a group from mask. Group from attribute.
Oh, okay. So
cool
I think Jeff's screen doesn't update often. So for me, it was like he didn't do anything. He had like 2 nodes. No. Oh, that looks cool.
Same for me. I was like, he's got a disk. Let's see what he's going to do with the disk. And then all of a sudden, boom, we've got this maze.
you got the maze. Yeah.
So either Jeff works very, very fast, or like you said, you know, there's some lag going on here.
Definitely some lag.
Ooh, I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Everyone's looks great so far.
And every time, like, all the participants do great. And frankly speaking, I haven't seen a Houdini battle. It was like, you did terrible. Never seen that.
I like how different they all are.
Yes, it's true that everyone went for a different style.
There.
Should we have a look at Think Vlad, which I haven't seen for a while?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. That reminds me a little bit of the movie called Maze Runner. Yeah, like someone said in the chat, it looks amazing.
Oh, there you go. Lot distribution, lot subdivision. I don't know that node. Maybe Paul knows more about that node.
Absolutely. So lot subdivision is essentially a tool that is going to find basically 2 edges of a primitive, going to cut it in half. And depending on the parameter that is called variability, I think it is, it's either going to make that cut through the middle, or push it off to the side. And if you do that iteratively, on all the subdivided polygons, you keep doing that, you're getting this really interesting gribble pattern. We call it lob subdivision because a lot of people use it for creating lots for buildings, for floor plans and such.
Ah, okay. So you have a whole map, and you're just creating some lots from it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's an extremely fast node thanks to Jake Rice, who took a stab at it and rewrote the entire thing in Vex. So shout out to Jake Rice.
He does awesome things. Ooh. I think we have people that should be. Are you all guys working video games? Because it looks really like a video game.
Yeah,
That's
plug
cool.
it into your game engine, hit play, and there you go. your maze game. You think we're going to see some lights today? Some neon?
I hope so. I mean, hopefully. I don't know if we were going to see some redshift this time.
Oh yeah.
And some crashes as well. Let's see.
That's a good reminder for everyone to just hit save real quick.
Hit save.
Yeah.
Still in the title. Gosh. Especially when I'm using edge damage, which is brand new, right, Paul?
It's been in there for 2 months or so. That's a node that Simon made. So thanks to Simon Verstraeten who built that. It's really awesome for quickly adding some damage using either booleans, VDB, or simply coloring edges.
Yeah, and it doesn't escape very well.
Yeah, that's your good old boolean.
Are you crashing?
No. It's just I got a second Houdini ready to go just in case, but I forgot to save. That's my problem.
Well, the thing is with Houdini, usually, even if you crash, usually once you have the idea, it doesn't take long to redo what you've done because you know exactly what you're supposed to do, and it's not about clicking all over the place. Should we have a look at Tighe?
Yeah, let's do that.
Ooh, neat.
Looks cool. Some sort of ISO lines from a terrain or something.
Yeah, it's using called it contour. I don't know if that's the name of the node or you named it.
We're at 27 minutes, you guys.
Left or at
Left. 27 minutes left.
Yeah, I know why edge damage isn't working because I'm still using the VDB option. Stupid me. I gotta go to. Why is VDBs by default, Paul? When you're dealing, see, do I go real units or do I go like baby Houdini units at 1 and then scale afterwards? It's always the problem. And of course, I go real units because I'm an architect. And of course, edge damage has probably got like a VDB separation. I'm now creating a VDB larger than, I don't know.
Depending on how many inches your scene is.
You can watch your memory skyrocket if that's the case.
And of course, because I have, I'll probably be the first one that goes on to update on manual, which is sad in itself, but I'm there right now, so I can actually go Boolean. Okay, that should be better. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that one for something else. I'm gonna continue on because I want to go higher.
And so yeah, for what Jeff mentioned is the manual mode, which if you don't know, I don't know how you can use Houdini. Basically, I don't know why there's no hotkey on it, in fact. I have to set up every time whenever there's a new version of Houdini. Yeah, that's really important to have. If you think something is going to be slow to be computed, just put yourself on manual mode just in case. Because otherwise it would keep recomputing and you may crash, or especially with VDB nodes, I usually do it because some preset, some of the settings may be completely wrong for your for the size of your scene, and you may crash. So manual mode is great for that.
Yep, looks like we've got our first compile block. Oh, and it's gone just as fast.
It's like, I'm not going to bother.
I mean, it can make your setup a lot faster in the right cases, but it also requires some setup, right? So it's a bit of a trade-off in this this battle.
It makes a lot of sense in production if you have some time, but if you're like, I only have 45 minutes, my setup not too slow, I might as well. Unless if it gets animated, it may make sense to have it compiled
Yeah, that's true.
Fast preview. It looks cool. I don't know what's the maze yet, but that's a really cool terrain.
Yeah, where's the one I'm looking for? It doesn't matter for now. But I'll just do a.
Should we have a look at Daniel?
Yep.
Oof.
Jeez, what is that? Oh, I think we're looking at it in wireframe mode. I think that's why
it's in wireframe mode. That's right.
So it looks like he's using VOPs here to drive some colors. Perhaps we're going to see the neon color.
Let's run. As a modulo, and yeah, it's so I see less and less people using VOPs, because if your VOP is really easy, really simple, it's great. But once you get to have like more nodes, it gets more complicated to follow. Well, at least what I think. Not everyone's like that. But following code is much easier for me. So I prefer looking at a wrangle because I can understand what's going on much faster.
That's true. I find myself also in general, using Vex, not because Vex is the only way to do things. It's just a personal preference of mine. But like when I use noises and such, I always go to VOPs because it's just so much easier there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do the same.
But yeah, exactly. But I mean, in recent Houdini versions, there are some really nice new nodes that take all of that VOP stuff and just make it into a SOP. I think they're called, attribute randomize, attribute adjust. Those tools have really simplified that workflow.
Yeah.
Attribute randomize is really good. I really enjoy it. I would have enjoyed it more when I was an artist.
Yeah.
Ooh, these are some cool colors.
Yeah, it's a rainbow VOP. It's the first time I see that node.
This one, if you can't go up.
I guess someone forgot to mute themselves.
Oh, Remi, you're muted as well now.
I did that on accident.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that looks really cool. I didn't know about the rainbow node. I guess it's just a round, or maybe it's just a custom you made.
Yeah.
I guess he's going to try to add some colors on some of the lines. It's difficult to know what is he going for. Should we have a look at what? I think we haven't had a look at Vlad for a while.
Yeah. That's cool. There we go. We're also adding some color over there.
Yeah.
And it looked like he's setting up some materials. So we might see some rendering soon, if we're lucky.
So, there you go. We have some
There it
redshift. It's always interesting. I've never been able to. I've never rendered with Redshift apart from taking someone's scene and testing it.
Yeah, I don't like waiting, so I generally try and stay away from rendering, simulation, and any other kind of stuff like that. Real time is the way. This looks cool. So he's got some metal set up now.
Yeah.
Definitely sci-fi. Some spaceship look.
Guess he's missing an environment to get more of the metal look for now.
Some reflections, yeah. Like an environment map, you mean?
Yeah. It looks cool already. I would love to see like some small neon lights in the geometry or something like that that would reflect nicely, but I don't know if it would be too slow to render.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, then although with GPU rendering and Redshift, maybe it's fast enough.
20 minutes left.
20 minutes. Oh my. Should we have a look at Jeff? I guess we didn't see for a while. Or is it Ty that we didn't see for a while?
Well, I think we could take a look at Jeff and then see the screen update, see him jump light years ahead.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. We're still seeing the edge damage node, so I don't know.
What does that paperclip mean?
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
I don't know if I could.
That looks like a lot of polygons.
Yeah, go big or go home.
What does that paperclip mean, that little icon? Next to in the nodes, next to the locks, do you see that on Jeff's nodes?
That's a good question, I don't know.
Oh, okay, so I turn on all the attributes. That means that it's got cache geometry. That's all that means. Yeah, that's in here. If you go to badges, node has data.
See. Got it.
That what's loaded and what's not loaded. I always have all the badges on. Yeah.
It wasn't showing on Jeff's screen, unfortunately, because I think he's sharing just Houdini. If you put your mouse in a network editor and you press D, you get the network view display options. And then on there, like Jeff said, there's a tab called badges, where you can see all of the different badges that you can find in the network editor. And then therefore, oh, there you go. It's visible on Jeff's screen now. Yeah. You can see what they mean.
That's
really important to know.
Okay, here goes another subdivide. And here we go.
He's adding a bunch of panels on all his geometry. Kind of looks like what Vlad is doing now, in a way.
Yeah. A very straightforward way to get things to look sci-fi. So, good idea for sure.
Definitely. But he's having troubles with some bad normals.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. It's easily wiped out, but better start getting some cameras in here and stuff. There's a camera. I can always go back and try Solaris, but that'll be hard.
Oh my.
We'll see if I got
do we have a look at the time?
a few minutes left.
"17 minutes.
Oh, that looks really cool. Still the really cool looking terrain. I don't know what he's doing now. So
I think we're going to find out. The cool thing with Houdini is that you move your display flag around and you see all these different stages of work that you've been working on. So when you watch someone work, might not look like there's anything yet, but then they move the display flag somewhere or wire some nodes together and boom, the entire thing unfolds.
So that's good.
and the difference between the display and render flag that can really kick you in the butt. So the problem, for example, you move your display flag all the time in your node. That's normal to look at what you're doing. When you do that in a subnet, well, then it changes what's going to be rendered. So you may not have the same thing when you render it and when you display it. That gets a problem. But then Houdini added the amazing output node that takes care of this problem. It's just going to always output what you set to the output node.
Yeah, that's a very important node for building tools like HDAs.
Oh, it was one of my favorite additions. When they just added that, I was like, oh my God, amazing. It's a simple node. Really simple, but so useful.
Absolutely. And another cool little trick with subnets in general is if you color the last node of the subnet, the outputs of the subnet are also going to be colored.
Yeah.
Same goes for the inputs.
They can also make some, I made some nodes that are supposed to work together. And I think the colors really helped people to understand how they were working. I was like, oh, this thing, it's yellow. Well, I'm going to put it in the yellow. And that made complete sense.
Yeah, height fields are a really good example of that, right? Where it's like this greenish color, you know exactly this stream of data is a height field. And then when you go back to gray, you know it's geometry.
It looks like he's putting, he's made a terrain and he's putting a terrain in the terrain. So it's a recursive terrain.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he's going to do that for every single slice.
Ooh, and it's animated. Oh,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that looks really damn good. I don't know if the result is supposed to be animated, but the animation looked really good.
Absolutely, yeah. Nice thing about Houdini, right? Everything's parameters. So if you want to animate something later on, you just keyframe the parameters.
And should we have a look at Daniel? Because last time he was still setting up his colors.
Oh, yeah. Looks like he's setting up some camera animation now or something.
I like that.
Or perhaps it's the scene that's moving. It's hard to see.
Yeah, I think he's added like wireframe on top of it. Maybe because he's on ghost mode as well. Ooh, it's the animation it may be really good.
Yeah, it's cool.
That looks really cool. The colors of it, they look like Maya locators somehow.
A ton of them, yeah. You'll see that when he presses render, it's going to be replaced with geometry.
12 minutes.
Might be. I mean, it could be instancing. It's so difficult to look at.
Yeah. Was Daniel looking at reference before he started, or you think this is all sort of?
I don't think he even looked at any reference. Yeah, I think he just went straight to Houdini. Maybe it was like, oh, I have an idea already.
That's pretty awesome.
It looks really damn good. Like the animation is great.
Just need some spaceships now.
Star Wars and explosions. And
Yeah. I think the last 12 minutes, I don't think you want to start doing a simulation, but
yeah.
Who knows?
It's a good
something
thing to
interesting
save.
to have. I don't know if anyone made just a library of explosions in VDB to be accessed and just reusable.
Oh yeah, we actually do. If you go to sidefx.com and then under the Get menu, you can click on Content Library. And under there, you have all of the cool looking explosions that got presented at the launch of 18.5. So they already look good. The only thing you got to do is press render and it's going to look awesome. So
there you go. If I ever do a Houdini battle, I'll just use that.
Exactly.
I hope you do, Remi, one of these days.
You know, I told you I'm not in Houdini that much doing stuff like pipeline, so it's a bit difficult when it's not your job anymore to make things. All right, should we have a look at Jeff? Takes a while when we want to have a look at Jeff and be sure that we are seeing the latest.
looks like he's adding some terrains.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So it's using height field paint to drive to use as a mask for height field noise. Yeah, I think there's two different tools in height fields to do some painting with. I think you have the height field paint, which is this actual paintbrush which has like a soft radius. And I think you have draw mask, which is more of this hard mask that you're drawing, because what the tool does internally is essentially draw a curve, and then it fills the curve and then just projects that as a mask. So two different ways of painting, both very powerful.
I think I've cleared my mask here. Why is Highfield Terrace not terracing everything?
Because you got to hit compute range.
Aha!
Ah, thank you, Paul.
Well, see if they are cheating already.
Yeah, I gotta help some fellow side effects.
He's like, oh, I'm going to get fired otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about that.
That's fun. We have now. It's looking a bit like ties.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was working on his setup. The terrace SOP for height fields is a very quick way of doing that. But of course, you're going to have to deal with a full terrain, whereas he is just he wants these separate sort of islands, right?
And you would need more detail to get the same amount of detail he's getting, well, the same curves, because it's really, with the terrain, with the 2D volume, it's a bit difficult to get.
Yeah. Oh, this looks cool though. Kind of makes me think of Subway somehow.
It does in Paris with the white tiles all over the place. I don't know, maybe in the UK as well they had that. It's been a while.
Okay.
And height field road. Oh, I don't know height fields that much. I've barely used them. They look like really cool tools to make terrains.
Yeah, it's a very powerful tool set. It's essentially compositing with volumes, right?
Yeah.
Where you're creating different volume layers that you layer together to create the results that you need using masks. So not just if you're using terrain, if you're using height fields for terrain purposes, you can also use it for to convert it back to geometry, right? That's the great thing about Houdini. It's so very easy to convert from one type of data to another.
All right, should we have a look at Vlad? I like it.
It's got a tree.
It's got a tree in the middle. I don't know why, but why not? But the colors are really good.
Yeah.
That's I guess it's just some faces are emitting some color.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, that's what I thought would look cool, and it does, and it's actually really fast to render.
Yeah, I think what he's done is since he had that lot subdivision and then beveled everything, you have these really thin edges or faces everywhere, right? Perhaps he grouped those small ones randomly.
Well, it wouldn't be random, I'm guessing. I'm guessing maybe by area. He just chose these small ones.
Yeah, right. Because on the polybevel, the cool thing with that is you can turn on groups, right? So you have only the groups for the beveled parts. And then if you throw a random on that group, perhaps that's the way he did it.
Could be. I love that it doesn't care about how it looks, like what the 3D is. It just wants a result. So he's looking at his camera and it's like, oh, I'm just going to move this part just to have it why I like it. I'm not too sure what the tree is for.
Sci-fi maze, yeah.
I'm 5 minutes, everybody.
Okay, so we have 5 minutes. We should take a quick look at everyone. So probably back to Ty. Ooh.
Oh, there we go. There's the blue Tron look.
He's trying to set up maybe a camera or something like that.
Yeah, in the chat, never heard of a data tree. There you go.
All right, since we only have a few minutes left, we should have a last look at Daniel as well.
Oh, that looks very cool.
Nice. Let's just open GL.
Yeah, I don't even think he's using any lights here. I think he's making things brighter in the distance and darkening everything close to the camera.
Oh yeah.
Sort of fake the illusion of light.
Even that is slow to render. It's faster for Vlad to render his emittive lights than OpenGL to display all this geometry.
Yeah, quick flipbook like he's doing right now. You know, it's gonna pre-render everything, and then there you go. You can play it back really smoothly.
Yeah.
You could almost use his setup here for a GPU ad or like a cryptocurrency ad.
Well, maybe you will. Why not? Try to sell it. We should have a look at Jeff as well. With Jeff, it's always difficult to know. Okay, it updated finally.
There we go.
I think he's just setting up his scene to show the maze and the terrain is made.
2 minutes.
And it kind of like, I don't know how he made all the tires kind of moved a little bit, just rotated them probably.
Maybe. I think we heard Jeff talking earlier on about using an attribute to drive poly extrude. So perhaps he used some random attribute to sort of add some variation to the distance.
Yep.
There you go.
All right, let's, did we look at everyone one last time?
Yeah, sure thing. So let's have a look at Vlad quickly. Guess he's doing his final renders. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
I really like the colors he's set up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Really bright, saturated. And let's have a look at Ty. Ah, yeah, he's trying to put it on all the top levels, I think.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, guys. Try to make a presentation out of it.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone
has
something that looks awesome, so.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Bunch of useful tricks we learned again today.
Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mouse is down.
Congrats,
Sweet.
everyone.
Sweet,
job.
sweet, sweet. So at this point, we'll do a review. So can everyone stop sharing except for Daniel? We'll start with you. Just like 2 minutes of explaining your concept.
Yeah, sure.
Ty, could you stop sharing? Okay, cool.
So you can see, yeah.
Actually, I found a reference. It was similar to this. It was like a bunch of cubes scattering around in a large cube. Let me show my still. But I started with a layout box first, and then I scattered a bunch of cubes while twisting it with a twist.
That's sweet.
Really cool.
And I tried to do some kind of locator scattering around, but it turned out okay. And I also have the animated lines are also cubes, and then it's the same scattering, but I did like a modular animation for the lines, and I added a bunch of colors. And yeah, this is the. Can you guys see my play blast? Or
No, we can't. At least I
oh,
can't.
I can't either.
Oh wait, one. I should share my play blast then.
Maybe share the whole screen instead of just Houdini. Is that why?
Share.
There you go. There we go.
So yeah, this is the what I have.
Sweet.
Really cool.
Looks great. Okay, next, let's see Jeff.
Hey, share my screen. If I can. Oh, there it is. Hold on. I got too many windows on.
I'm wondering if it was not
Okay,
a bit slow because of the resolution.
Yeah, so for me, it's fighting complexity versus algorithms. At first, immediately wanted to create like a typical maze. You know, you can imagine a maze like from Alien Covenant. So that was my idea. I missed the vines. So I missed a few things that I wanted to do, by the way. And I think it might have been too ambitious for the 45 minutes, but I'll show you basically what I did. I used the lab's disk generator because we should actually have a primitive called the disk generator in Houdini regardless. And let me turn off the templates on that. And then I was mulling over, do I procedurally generate a maze from this? And then I quickly gave up on that because that would have been 20 minutes of doing it. So I just decided to paint the maze. Sometimes grunt is the best. And then there's a little trick here. If you want to take your points and you go, well, how do I poly faces? The answer is you can use the divide sop. This is old school, right? And the divide sop has this really cool, turn everything else off. I mean, it does, why does it convex polygons? I don't know, but compute dual. What it does is it looks at each point and then computes the nearest neighbor, and it computes, if I template the attribute you paint, you can see what it's doing. It puts a new face on the points and it promotes the attributes to prim. And that means I can wrangle a bit of randomness in that, and I use the poly extrude to basically extrude on that mask. So that's the one trick pony that I leaned on to generate my basic maze. It's setting me up for later on. I can procedurally generate anything I want above, but for now it's good enough. And then I did clean the attributes, and I subdivided that. I just added some extra complexity, some old tricks, just using some random poly extrudes again, just to break up the geometry a bit more. And then I worked on the sides. I was thinking I had other things I could do, but ran out of time. So, and I did a clean. If you don't know, clean sop, if you remove attributes, it's the only operator I know that you don't have to go primitive point and vertex or detail. You just remove all my attributes. They're gone. So cleans are great for that. And then a point jitter, just generating just some more randomness, and then some clean, normal. And then I was going to start doing find shortest paths to basically start building vines across the bridges, but that's 15 minutes and I ran out of time on that. And then over here, I just used the height field just to put a quick height field around the outside. I wanted to create shorter terracing. With another 5 minutes, I might have dialed that in a lot nicer. And then I used the lab's procedural smoke just to create a nice smoke field on top. Even though I'm not using the simulation side, it's a great way of just quickly generating a field of smoke or clouds. And again, missed the 5 minutes to dial that in, and then I merge it all together and I set my camera. That's it.
So cool.
Nice. I didn't know about the new smoke node from Labs. That's great.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, another like 5 minutes on.
Yeah,
So if you would have had an hour and a half, it would have been different. But the piece you're starting to see where the madness was.
But is it different than the cloud node in a way?
Yeah. Well, let me isolate this. It's actually, if I just put down just a procedural smoke, Labs procedural smoke. It is the best way. And there's also another one, fluids. They have a fluid one. And this is just freaking awesome. You just hit forward. And again, because I decided to use real world units, I was fighting the classic Houdini problem, right? Which is, what is one? And so anyway, there you go. That's a great tool for adding out.
That looks so cool.
Super cool.
So that's what it should have looked like. But it didn't. It's time to dial it in. So we need to seriously think about units when we're dealing with Houdini. But anyway, I digress. But anyway.
Thanks, Jeff. Ty.
You're welcome.
Hey, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. I will share my screen. Can we see?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I had one Houdini crash of like 10 minutes in, which I'm kind of glad happened because I changed my idea to something that I actually enjoyed more. Basically, I saw this image, this reference image, and I thought that was cool. So I tried to do that as quick as possible, which led me to this. And because it's sci-fi, of course, you know, hologram lines. And yes, this is where we came from. So I think it is potentially a functional maze. Like I think you could maybe come in. Let's see if we can find the entrance. Nope, this one is at least a fully enclosed maze. But if you're inside, you could, you know, go into one of these. I'll go through where that came from. I want to check if, so I did because of the lovely, and I think my screen froze. Nope, well.
You're good.
Yeah, so got like, basically it's just like a recursive thing. So I just made like mountains of like contour mountains and more or less just repeated that to kind of have the top so that it was similar towards that piece of reference here where, you know, I wanted to just not basically show like, look guys, I made squiggly lines, but it was more like, you know, you can build a mountain out of squiggly lines and then recursively use that setup and just copy and paste nodes to give you, you know, another way of using the same tools to get something towards that or something kind of interesting, hopefully. And so basically it's just circle to a simple remesh, and then I grab the converted line, and then I more or less make like a gradient attribute, like from the from like that distance to the edge. It's not like the actual true distance from like the center, just because I wanted to.
Isn't there a node for that? Isn't there the Falloff Node now? I think this has been added. Oh,
that's
just
cool.
Saying, if someone doesn't want to recreate it, you know.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm kind of leaning towards Jeff's in the old school world where I just know that I can do it if I want to do it. So I just do it when I need to do it, and I just make it work however I need to make it work. And then I did kind of lean into my pocket a little and grabbed this contour node, which is basically just a for each clip stop. So if you take the mask attribute, which is so like that becomes a mask attribute, and if you actually,
this is the most awesome thing I've seen. I didn't know you could just click on the attribute and you would see it in the view.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I love that.
It's how you create visualizers. It's pretty slick.
It is.
Let me go and create this and then max that. And so basically, because a singular float attribute is actually one-dimensional, you can actually like put that attribute into one-dimensional space while still being in three-dimensional space, and then you can slice it. You can slice it in 3D space along Y, and basically, like, you know, now the attribute, like you slice it. So that's like that same mesh, but it's been resorted to be like the Y value is now the mask value. So if you slice along the Y value, and then you put it back and you preserve the 3D attribute. So you just basically take it to one-dimensional space and bring it back from one-dimensional space. You can get contours. So it's a really cool way to also visualize attributes and do stuff. And then I just smooth it up, and then I basically loop over it and extrude volume to make like some mountainy terrain, Japanese garden kind of vibe out of it. And then I basically grab the lines, the edges off of that, so that I can get, you know, that kind of sci-fi hit the brief, hit the notes, get that sci-fi vibe going, which I think in the end result, I think I actually was a little thick on the lines. Didn't really so much. I think it was too. I think these contour lines are a little thick. Anyways, and then basically after I had that done, like the terrain, I locked it down. That's like my own auto like file cache node. And then I just blasted out these kind of two feature hills to actually make a maze on top of. And then I like basically more or less copy pasted this stuff from up above, did that same, you know, snazzy stuff. And then I just deleted random points to hopefully open doors into the maze, so that like you see like some points actually have like entry, like there's access now. You know, maybe I'll spice it up. Yes, there we go. We have an entrance to the maze. There we are. Yeah, and then I just extrude it upwards at like using a random value based on the class, like how many primitives there are, like basically just prim indexing, just so that some of them are higher than others. And and then I just do that twice, merge it together, make a little composition so that you guys love it.
It's so cool. I love it.
Well,
I do.
Do you maybe want to do a quick explanation of how you made the wrangle black by default? I think some people might be interested in knowing.
What's that, Paul? I didn't.
Oh, sorry. I think my AC is blasting. I said, do you maybe want to explain to the audience how you make the wrangle black by default?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I actually have another node that I know that I wanted to do that on. So if you have a node and you love your nodes and you want to keep them, you just control click. So I always have my nulls, and I know I haven't done my time shift yet. Oh, no, I did. So once you do that and you control shift, you always have classic colors. So you can build your graphs, and you can kind of start to have a way of knowing where to go and to jump to, and to kind of have a sense of familiarity when you are navigating your graphs. And it's really great if studios and when you're collaborating with people, if you can agree on a node color scheme. It's just a nice way to kind of make reading and working together, you might say. But
So
yeah, so
thanks.
that is my contribution. Thanks for...
Hit the D key. Hit the D key in the network. So I might have a chance to show you something here. Hit the D key in the network, and in there, there's themes. You can actually have themes for node shapes and node colors. So you can even use the nodes that you have right now and generate a file. Yeah, so that's what I can't do that when I do tutorials. When I'm doing these live things, but for my own work, I have wacky colors and wacky shapes.
yeah, like permanent node shapes and stuff. Yeah, no, I definitely, I appreciate having permanent, like themes. Yeah, absolutely. So like you can, like, I'm working in this theme today or that theme today. It's great.
That's
great.
so cool. Flare
theme. I don't know what that is. It's
I know.
A little flare.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's me. I didn't know if I liked this composition. You guys can tell me if this composition or this composition is better. I think it's this one. I'm gonna say yes. But that's it.
Thank you so much. And Vlad.
Yeah, I'm just turning on my screen share.
Of course.
So this is the final result. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I started pretty simple. I had in mind this reference where you see a maze and the tree in the middle of the maze.
Where does that reference come from? You don't know?
Just
just random. Okay, no,
just random, just kind of this like.
Oh, okay. I thought it had a special meaning. That is just you just saw that reference. That's cool.
Yeah, I have a meaning somehow or other. My artworks, they contain a bit of technology and a bit of organic stuff. So I decided to combine these two together to keep up with my style. Okay, then I just took a grid. Just selected some points on it with the group range, and with the removed some points from the group randomly, defined some ends by the unshared edges, then used shortest path to extract. Fused them all together because they gave us overlapping primitives of the extrusion. Then I gave the normal and the Z-scale with attrib noise for random extrusion. So it looks at the end kind of like this. Then I give thickness. I don't know why did I select them, but anyway. Then I used lot subdivision for the sci-fi look. Pretty cheap and simple decision. Then I just made unique points with facet node again on Z-scale and extruded them. Then I extracted the lines, the edges, used edge group to curve from the labs toolset. Used this, then I assigned the random colors by primitives with the help of attrib noise again. This is the floor, basically.
That's awesome.
That's it. Then a tree. Tree is just almost basic preset with L system. Just added some Fs here so it would be a bit taller. We simply did added curve view, added thickness based on curve view polywire, converted to VDB, smoothed it a bit. I didn't have time to get rid of these points at the tops, but anyway. And just that's it. A base and something like a sun on to add the composition. And the final is
beautiful. Beautiful.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now it's time to vote.
That's the hardest part. Come on. I don't know. I really don't know.
So if everybody goes to Discord, there is a poll and people have already started and you can vote for more than one. Yeah, it's going to be close.
Close so far?
Да. Този документ, който
Okay. We have someone in the lead.
Yeah, so far, I think Daniel is in the lead. I'm really impressed with what I saw, that it was not only art, it was also a lot really technicals where I did learn a lot of things. So
Yeah.
just looking at it, I'm impressed that within 45 minutes, like, okay, I'll try to cram as much technical stuff as I can.
So impressive. Okay, I think we have a winner. Daniel, congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Totally.
That was really great, you guys. Yeah, congratulations and thanks so much for everyone who participated. It's a community service and thanks for the audience for watching. And yeah, so thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.
Great job, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye. Cheers.